Okay, in the previous class, we have studied about the projections of the planes, in which the plane laminas are actually resting on either HP or VP by using one of the corners. And after that, we have learned about some of the solid editing commands. So if you have any doubts regarding the previous concepts, you can ask me, and you can post that in the Google Classroom also. I will repeat the topics. So in that one, we have came to certain progress that initially we have started with laminas which are actually resting on the horizontal plane, and after that on the vertical plane, and then inclined to one plane, and after that inclined to both the planes. And in the previous lecture I've told you about the planes which are actually resting on the planes by using the corners. And now today we will going to see the projections of the planes which are actually resting using the sides. Okay, so let me start this today's class. Okay, today I'm going to discuss this problem in detail so that you guys will be able to understand these planes concept, because keeping in mind the yesterday's civil feedback, most of them wanted me to repeat the topic again. I know it's a somewhat difficult topic, so I come up with some one good idea. I thought I should show all of this, whatever that the thought process that I'm having in my brain. I just want to show that in the AutoCAD so that you guys can understand. So today lecture will be somewhat slow, but whereas if you have any minute doubts about the projections of planes, all of them will be get clarified. Before we enter into the third unit, I just want to let you guys know that this understanding of these planes concept, projections of planes concept, is very much important in order to understand the projections of the solids, which are somewhat similar, because the solids are actually made up of, if we consider the outer edges, they're made up of planes, right? Seems to be. So whenever you're drawing, so we started with points and then lines and then planes. After that we have to go to the solids. Unless you understand these three concepts to the full depth, you won't be able to understand it is somewhat difficult for you to understand the solids concept. Okay, so that's why if you guys have any doubts, post them in the Google Classroom. I'm happy to answer all of those questions, or if you want me to repeat any topic also, that is fine. I'm going to repeat that particular concept. Okay, so here today the question that I'm about to explain is, excuse me, regular hexagonal lamina of 30 mm side rests on HP on one of its sides. 30 mm side rests on one of its sides. So hexagon, actually all of you know already that it will look like this. It will be having 6 different sides, and each of the sides will be having equal dimension, and that dimensions here in the given problem is 30 mm side, which is actually resting on the horizontal plane on one of its sides. So the side which is on the horizontal plane makes 60 degrees to the vertical plane and the surface of the lamina is inclined to the horizontal plane at 45 degrees. Draw the front view and top view of the lamina. Excuse me. So here from the given problem I have sorted 3 different conditions here. So first thing is we have to remember that this particular lamina is actually resting on the horizontal plane using one of its sides, which means it has six different sides, right? So using one of these sides, it is one of the sides of this hexagon were actually resting on the horizontal plane. If you remember, if you can imagine this one, if only one side is actually resting on HP means rest of the sides are not on the HP means it is making certain inclination with the horizontal plane, obviously, right or wrong? Since only one of the edges are there, which means rest of the edges are not on the horizontal plane, means this particular surface is actually making certain inclination. And the second condition that was given is the edge on the horizontal plane making 60 degrees with the vertical plane. So whatever the edge that is there on the horizontal plane making 60 degrees with the vertical plane. So here assume that this is the edge which is actually resting on the horizontal plane. So when it is resting with respect to the vertical plane, it is making certain inclination. This particular edge here is actually making 60 degrees inclination. Here also it can make 60, here also in this way also it can make 60. You can take it as you like, okay? Ultimately you will get the same projection, but you know they are like the mirror projections. And the last thing is the surface of the HP makes 45 degrees with the horizontal plane. I told you earlier, since it is resting by using one of the sides means it is obviously making some inclination with the horizontal plane. That inclination is actually given to you. Okay, so let me explain the basic procedure once again to solve these plane problems so that you guys will be able to solve them easily. Okay, so whenever you are given a problem like this, so first thing that you need to remember is he might have given the angle of inclination with respect to the horizontal plane and with respect to the vertical plane also, but you need to remember that initially you have to keep the surface parallel to one of the planes or keeping that one on the either one of the planes. Remember, initially you have to treat it as parallel to one of the planes or you have to kept it on any one of the planes. So for almost 98% of the problems will be like this. Either you have to start that the plane lamina is actually resting on the horizontal plane or vertical plane, or parallel to the horizontal plane or vertical plane. Okay, since you want, initially we have to take them as having no angle, and then after that from the initial state we have to use the projections, and so that we can get we can include the angle of inclination with respect to planes. So once you're done with that, you can use the angle of inclinations or what you can satisfy all the rest of the conditions. So the initial stage is the important one. So let me open AutoCAD. Okay, so first thing is first, we need to zoom it in all the way. Okay, now let me draw the hexagon. So how to draw the hexagon? This way we can draw the hexagon. In this way also we can draw the hexagon. See here, on the top side we got a horizontal side, on the left side we got a vertical side. So you can choose whatever the way that you want to, but whereas you have to make sure that the given conditions can be satisfied if I select this particular approach, or if I select this particular approach, the given condition can be satisfied. Likewise you have to think. Okay, so here let me give this one a proper dimensions. Ma Okay, so I will tell you guys why did I actually choose this method, which means keeping got a vertical, two vertical sides on the left and right hand side. Okay, so if this is the case, so I told you initially we have to assume that this one is actually parallel to one of the planes. I don't even make it fine. Okay, now let me go to the left side view. 3D rotate command. I have to select. I might have. Okay, this is the horizontal plane and this is the vertical plane. If you assume them likewise, let me show you guys what am I actually trying to say. Hexagon will be having 6 different sides, right? Okay, see here, we were told that, let's say the given conditions here, so the conditions that we need to satisfy to draw this hexagon. The first condition is this particular hexagon has to rest on the horizontal plane in such a way that one of the sides should be inside the horizontal plane. Suppose if I take the hexagonal plane like this, what happens? So if I want to keep this particular side here, and so I need to rotate or lift rest of the sides. If I do so, this one is actually initially making certain inclination with the vertical plane. See here, with respect to the vertical plane, this line is making certain inclination already. So let us say that one is also not a problem. If I rotated this one to 60 degrees here, I'm not sure when I lift the rest of the edges I'm going to get 45 degrees inclination or not with respect to the horizontal plane. Okay, so that would be somewhat difficult. So in order to make this easier, I can choose this particular lamina or choose this particular diagram, because if I choose this one, I can keep this particular edge in the horizontal plane. I will rotate rest of the sides to an inclination of 45 degrees, and then I will keep this edge at an inclination of 60 degrees. I will keep this edge here with respect to the vertical plane at an inclination of 60 degrees. Right now it is vertical. I will keep this at 60 degrees. Clear? So here, what is the order that we need to follow in order to satisfy the condition? See here, just because it is first condition, no need to we have to satisfy this condition first. Okay, that is just the condition number that I've given. If it is a problem to you, okay, no problem. I will just leave it like this, because whenever I want to say something, if I want to refer something, then you must know the number. Okay, from the front view, how does this actually plane lamina looking like? Like a straight line, right? Just like a straight line, I'm able to see this lamina here. So I am going to take the projections here. Let me give the namings also. Okay. Since it is resting on the horizontal plane, this one will seems to be looking like it is on the XY line. I can't just join these both because if I do so, it will be difficult for you guys to see this straight line. Okay, from the front view, this plane is just looking like a straight line, so that's why I got a projection of straight line here. And then now F dash comma C dash E dash comma D dash. Now what do we need to do? Remember, I've told this in the previous classes also. I'm repeating this one in this class also. If you get a straight line in the front view, take the angle of this lamina with respect to the horizontal initially. If you get a straight line below the XY line or in the top view, then take the inclination made by this lamina with the vertical plane initially, so that you can solve the problem very easily. Okay, we are not here to complicate the problems, and that's the procedure too. I'm going to mark this line with different color, say blue. Now let me show this to you in the AutoCAD. I'm gonna be rotating this one. let me draw this straight line too. Okay, so I'm going to construct this line initially, and then I'm going to use the projections here. The lines that I'm about to draw are just approximations. Okay, don't take them as, you know, perfect. Actually, the end points are actually made by don't worry that they are connected this way. Okay, I think you guys are getting my point. Why am I drawing these projections? Okay, why do we need to draw these lines? Okay, so from these points we will draw horizontal lines. From this particular line we will draw these vertical lines, so that they will all try to represent the actual object. So when we do the projections, we should get a hexagon like this. It is not a perfect hexagon since it is inclined. It will be like that. So let me measure the dimensions. .96, correct. Now I'm gonna take line of 51.96 at 45. This particular line here, I'm going to change the projections lines. You can change the line color by going into the layer properties, but whereas selecting all of them is somewhat a difficult task. No, not the solid. I don't want to change the color of the solid. Okay, These yellow lines are the projection lines. Let's go to the drawing. Now let me draw the vertical lines from this one. Because f dash c dash are actually meeting at the midpoint. So a dash and a are meeting here. So if you combine all of those projections here, you will get a hexagon like this. That is fine. Let me give the namings to these. Since it is a top view, we can't use, a1 dash, b1 dash likewise, only for the sake of front views. Only for front views we have to use that. Okay, let me measure the dimensions here. The side, each side of this one is 30 mm, and the angle between this one is 45. Okay, so what we have actually done is we have satisfied the first condition and the third condition at a time. So when you're trying to draw something, try to understand one thing here. I will explain the scenario. I told this in the beginning, and also now I'm explaining this one. So whatever the lamina here, if it has to rest on one of the sides, it has to make certain inclination with the horizontal plane also, obviously. So that's the reason why, that is also one of the reason why the third condition is got satisfied, okay, at a time. So now we need to satisfy the second condition, then we're ready. Okay, the third condition is, the second condition, that last condition that needs to be satisfied is the edge on the horizontal plane makes 60 degrees with the vertical plane. So which means this is the edge which is actually resting on the horizontal plane, right? This is the side, or this is the edge which is actually resting on the horizontal plane, right? So this has to be, right now if you see, this one is perpendicular to the vertical plane. If you watch this one from the top view, this particular edge is actually perpendicular to the vertical plane. right, or normal to the vertical plane. Since that is this side here is actually perpendicular to this plane. Okay, we need to keep this one at an inclination of 60 degrees, and then excuse me for that, and then we have to draw the front view and top view of this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this one in the I'm gonna rotate this particular side here through an angle of 60 degrees. I'm going to first I need to copy this one, select this, now select the object and then select the base point. I don't know why it is actually, yeah, I've copied this one. Now we need to rotate this one, select the object, now press enter, select the base point. Since I need this one to be rotated, so I have to select this particular vertex. Otherwise, if I select this one, the center of this particular hexagon, it will try to rotate the entire area or entire lambda. I don't want that to be happening. I just want this edge to be rotated. So let's go to the top view now. So for how much angle? If this particular edge has to make an inclination of 60 degrees with this one, it has to make 30 degrees from the current position. $90 means 120. Wait, what have I actually done? I think I have rotated this one about some other plane. This is 270, so 300 is fine. What the? I've rotated using blue, but it is being rotated by another axis. A lot of time is getting wasted, so I just want to randomly rotate this one through certain inclination. Say I think this one is right now making an inclination with this. Now this one is 60. We don't want that. Okay, assume that this one is making right now. See here, we have rotated this edge. I'm going to create an extended line to this one. So in the top view right now, see here, we have selected this edge initially using that particular edge. We have rotated this 145. Right now we have kept this particular edge at an inclination of 60 degrees with the vertical plane. So this is how actually whatever that I'm drawing in this AutoCAD, you should get that imagination in your mind. Everything that is actually happening here, everything that I'm drawing here, all these projection lines and everything, you have to imagine it, and then only you will be able to draw them in your sheets. Okay, try to improve that imagination capability. Nobody have it from the birth. Okay, I'm going to delete this line. Not able to select this one. Unless I open the tab, I won't get this. Seems nothing might be happening. Okay, you have to combine all of these projections here. Right. If you extend these lines, these vertical lines and these, I think I might have missed it. Since we can't see them, see these two different views at once, we usually rotate one plane. What is that plane? What plane do we actually rotate? We rotate a horizontal plane. Okay, from the front view, the figure has to look like this, and from the top view, it has to look like this. Okay, I'm going to draw this one. Let me trim these extended portions here. So with all the dimensions, with the same dimensions as that up here, I'm going to keep this edge. Sorry. Actually, I have to draw the line 60 degrees. say 150. Right now this is 60 degrees, so this one's dimension will remain the same. $30. We don't know the dimension, let me measure the dimension. Oh, I think I might have done something wrong here. It just has to meet here, so I'm going to take this dimension. .72. Okay. This one, 60. 23.72 at 60. Three zero at 120. Now with the circles of 23.72. Let me draw another circle. I could have just copied this entire figure, but whereas if you want to draw this on your sheets, you will get some confusion. I think let's do somewhere. Yeah, the angle is not the same. Angle will change. $39. It has to be 9 degrees. The angle between these two, let me measure this one. No, wait. These two are not properly arranged. Yeah, 102. No problem then. If that is 102, if we can draw a vertical line, it would become very much easier, right? 51, obviously. Let me measure this dimension also. 18.37. Now we need to keep those angles. Line dimension is 23.72. Let me draw another parallel line. Take offset through 18.37. What? Okay, I think now they're properly arranged. Now, so let's measure this dimension. I'm just basically trying to get this cube rather than getting these angles so that the problem becomes very much easier for us. Let me measure this dimension also. अरे यार, $15. So this is the rectangle that we needed. $102. I think I got this. Emotional. Okay, I'm going to extend this line. Before doing that, that's the reason why I want to be more careful. Can start the straight lines from different locations, not from the points that I wanted to. So yeah, let's draw the projections in this direction also. So wherever this A dash and A1 are going to meet is this one, and B dash and B are going to meet, which is this one, and C dash and C are meeting here, and D dash and D are meeting here, E dash and E are meeting here, F dash and F are meeting here. Okay, I'm not going to give any markings. Hope you guys might have understand. See here, in the front view it is looking like this, which is exactly similar to this position. Observe this pink one here, which is actually almost same because the angle is not, this edge angle is not perfectly 60, but you can see this one is looking like the front view that we have made here, and the top view, we will check the top view also. The top view has to look like this if we are correct. See here, observe this position, observe this figure. Let me combine all of these things, let me join all of these things so that it will become easier for you. Observe this figure here and observe this particular figure here, both are same, right? And similarly from the front view, observe this figure here and observe this one here, both are looking familiar, which means we have followed the proper method, we have followed it properly, so that's why we got this one correctly. So the notations have to be if it is a front view, we have to include the dashes. There is some sort of bug. Okay. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to know. I went too slow, but if any of you are having any doubts, those doubts will be cleared. By the way, this is my channel. If you please give a like to this video. So this is the angle that we got there. Okay, this is the, this much powerful is the engineering graphics. So we can project a certain plane or a solid. How does it actually going to look like when it is inclined to certain things? Okay, hope you guys might have learned something, and I just want to summarize this session. That is how you guys have to do. Since we got a straight line in the front view, we have initially taken the angle made by this particular plane with the horizontal plane. But whereas if we got a straight line in the top view or below the XY line, then we would have taken this line at an inclination, whatever the angle of inclination that is being made by this plane with the vertical plane. That is how we used to progress. Okay, my suggestion to all of you is please attend these online classes, because once the college is reopened for students, I'm sure there won't be much of a time left for you. You guys will be busy with the laboratories and all of them. So that's why I want you guys to understand that for this particular semester, most probably you won't be having a classroom interaction. Only these online sessions, online interaction will be there. That's my sincere suggestion for all of you is please attend the classes. Okay, do not skip any of the classes. I hope you guys might have learned something. Okay, I'm going to wrap this today's session. If you're okay with this today's class, then that's fine. But if you still have confused, if you want me to repeat any concepts in the second unit, just feel free to ask. Okay, if so many people are asking for the same concept, I will do that particular concept. Okay, since I need to complete the third unit also, and I have to at the same time complete the AutoCAD, since I'm still in the modeling stage, and of course modeling modification tools also I'm explaining. Yeah, we will go to the layout section, and still we need to see, a lot of topics. We need to cover a lot of topics. I don't think there won't be much of a time left. Okay. If it is an AutoCAD, I will stop with the solid editing commands, and then I'll go to the projections. I know how to convert from change an isometric view to orthographic view, or how to get these projections, orthographic projections. Okay guys, see you in the next class.
Example problem. This video shows the position of a pentagonal pyramid. This pyramid in its simple position rests on HP on its base. After tilting in the final position, the pyramid is resting on HP on one of its base edges such that the axis is parallel to VP and inclined at 30 degrees to the HP. Solution to example problem. Draw the simple plan and elevation. In the plan, draw the pentagon with a base side perpendicular to XY line. Now tilt the front view such that the resting edge R', S' is on XY line and the axis is inclined at 30 degrees to the XY line. Draw the final top view from step 1 top view and step 2 front view. In the final top view, as the apex is nearer to the view direction, one half of the base is visible and the other half is hidden. Show the hidden edges in dotted lines. Darken the final front view and top view to complete the problem.
Hi, in this session, let's study three-dimensional solids. As an example, a machine part is a 3D solid. In general, geometrical solids are classified as polyhedron and solids of revolution. A polyhedron solid has many heads or sides, known as planes or faces. Regular polyhedron has equal and regular planes. Some of the common types are tetrahedron, cube, prism, and pyramids. In tetrahedrons, all faces and base are equilateral triangular faces. A cube has 6 identical faces, each being a square. Prisms are named according to the shape of their bases as triangular, square, pentagon, and hexagon. A pyramid is a polyhedron having many-sided planes, base at one end and a point or vertex at the other end. The base of the pyramid may be in different shapes. The other category is solids of revolution, which are generated by revolving 2D planar figures like a rectangle or right-angled triangle about its sides. Most common forms used in engineering drawings are cylinders and cones. A cylinder is a solid of revolution obtained when a rectangle is revolved about one of its sides. A cone is generated by revolution of a right-angled triangle having a circular base and a vertex. So, we have discussed the concept of solids. Now we'll see how the solids are projected with reference to the orientation of their axis. Different possibilities of the orientation of the axis include being perpendicular to one of the reference planes and inclined to the other, or being parallel or inclined to both the reference planes. First, we'll illustrate the case where a regular pentagonal prism of side 50 mm and height 120 mm is resting on HP with its axis perpendicular to HP and parallel to VP. It has two faces, A, B, C, D, E and P, Q, R, S, T. Here, its top view will appear as a regular pentagon on HP. Let's draw its projections. For this, first draw a horizontal reference line XY. Below the line XY, we'll draw top view, which is a pentagon with side 50 mm. Observe that top face A, B, C, D, E is visible and base P, Q, R, S, T hidden. The side EA makes an angle of 45 degrees with the line XY. Now, the vertices of the pentagon are joined to the midpoints of the opposite sides to obtain the center O of the prism. From the endpoints of the pentagon, generate vertical projectors. Their intersection points with line XY form the base of the prism. Now, extend projector from the center O long enough to be able to represent 120 mm height of the prism. Then draw line X dash Y dash parallel to XY at a distance of 120 mm. After that, project the base points vertically to intersect line X dash Y dash at points A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash and E dash. Here A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash is the top face of the prism in front view. So, here we are with a complete view of the given pentagonal prism.
Hi friends, now we shall discuss projections of solids with a special case, that is axis inclined to one of the reference planes and parallel to the other. To solve such problems, alteration of position method is used. In that, initially the axis of the solid is assumed to be perpendicular to one of the planes. Then, view showing its true shape and size is drawn. Next, other views are constructed by projecting the details from the first view. And finally, position of one of the views is altered as per requirements and remaining views are generated once again. To understand this method, let's solve a problem. A pentagonal prism has base side length of 25 mm and axis length of 50 mm. It is resting on one of its rectangular faces on HP. the axis is inclined at 45 degrees to the VP. Now to draw the orthogonal views in this position, we shall assume that its axis is perpendicular to VP. Observe that the true shape and size of the pentagonal prism is seen in the front view. We shall generate pentagon in the front view with base parallel to XY. Then let's construct the top view by projecting the details from the front view. Now we will follow the procedure to alter the position of the top view. First, let's draw the axis line at 45 degrees to XY and adjacent to the existing top view. The axis length is 50 mm. Then draw a perpendicular line x1y1 passing through this axis. Next, we shall draw a line x2y2 parallel to x1y1 at a distance of 50 mm. Use a divider to measure the distances of the corner points from the existing top view and mark them respectively in this new inclined top view. Finally, connect all points in proper sequence. Here observe that the hidden lines are shown in dotted pattern. Then project all points from this top view above line XY. These projectors will intersect the horizontal projectors drawn from the existing front view. Mark the intersecting points and complete front view in this altered position. Observe the hidden lines are shown as dashed lines coincide with other visible lines. And here we have a complete solution of all the views. So friends, these are basic steps in constructing the views when axis of the solid is inclined to one of the reference plane.
Well, let's carry on the discussion of the projections of solids. We'll study the case in which a right pentagonal prism is resting on HP with its axis parallel to both HP and VP. As the axis is parallel to both the planes, it does not intersect either of them. However, the projection onto AVP gives true shape and size of the prism. So, we'll draw the side view first, then top and front views by projecting the lines from side view. First, let's generate a pentagon inclined at 30 degrees with XY. This is how the prism will appear from side view. Now, to construct the front view, project the corner points of the pentagon parallel to XY. The prism is resting on HP with its edge A'-P' of length 150 mm coinciding with line XY. Draw vertical lines from points A'-P' above XY to intersect the projectors drawn from the side view at Q', T', R', S' and also at B', E', C' and D'. This completes the front view of the prism. Observe the hidden line E', T' represented as dotted line. Consider a vertical center line MN between the front and the side view. Extend vertical projectors from A' and P' below line XY. Project the corner points from side view onto XY. From these intersecting points on XY, draw lines at 45 degrees to meet line MN. These lines are further extended horizontally parallel to XY, meeting the projectors drawn from front view. Mark the intersecting points as T, S, P, Q, R and E, D, A, B, C. Here, the line AB is hidden. This will form the top view of the prism. Take a look at the entire construction of the prism. Let's crack another construction problem. A regular pentagonal prism of side 60 mm and length 120 mm is resting on HP with its axis inclined at 30 degrees to VP and parallel to HP. So, first draw a reference line XY. Now, first let's assume that axis of the prism is perpendicular to VP and draw the front view with one of its sides lying on XY. Next, for the top view, the projectors are drawn from front view below XY. A horizontal line parallel to XY is drawn to intersect the vertical projectors at points P, Q, T, R, S. Then, at a distance of 120 mm, draw a horizontal line that cuts the vertical projectors at A, B, E, C, D. This develops the prism. Here, observe the lines QB and RC are hidden lines. Now, it's time to create 30 degrees inclination. For that, draw an inclined line at 30 degrees to XY. It represents the axis of the prism. Copy transformed prism from its top view onto this line. So, what will be the front view in this position? It will be formed by projecting the corner points of the inclined top view vertically above the line XY. Then, the horizontal lines are produced from the corner points of the previous front view to intersect the above vertical lines. Joining these points in a proper sequence gives the required front view. So friends, in this session we learned how to project solids when their axis is positioned in various orientations with HP and VP.